gotta keep them separated.
Fittingly enough, we're on a vert ramp. And
one of my favorite places to be.
This is your bread and butter. This is where you made your name, huh?
Yeah, this happens to be my new home vert ramp at the Mission Valley YMCA.
What was your first board?
It was at a department store board. Went down, just picked out a Veriflex one out of the department store, complete board, you know, but it rolled and that's all I cared about. My first pro model board was a Lance Mountain. It was my first pro model board. That's ironic because now here I am, all grown up, pro skater, and I ride for Powell.
I mean, as a 12-year-old kid who gets his first skateboard, did you ever think that it would get this big, that it would be this big for you, that you could travel the world as a skateboarder?
No, I consider myself lucky every day when I wake up, and I feel like I'm one of the few people that can honestly say I love what I do for a living.
These kids, they see you skating this vert ramp, they see you pulling some big tricks, maybe they ask you some questions. I mean, what do you tell them?
Just the same thing I tell all the kids, is just the reason why we all picked up skateboards in the first place is because it's the funnest thing we know how to do. And that's the number one thing you gotta always remember. Interestingly enough, just through watching skateboarding on television, and for the first time, skateboarding is big enough that there's actually skateboard fans. You may not necessarily skateboard yourself, but you play the video games and you have your favorite pros, you watch the contests, and people are starting to learn some of these crazy, funny names just from hearing it or seeing it in the video games. And there's definitely a more educated skateboard fan out there than there ever has been. Boom, big backside air. Japan air. Frontside Benihana's. Flipping.
In all honesty, do you ever laugh at the names that everyone comes up with for these names?
The names in skateboarding are ridiculous. It's kind of cool though, because it's like our own little language, you know. Skateboard is a pretty tight-knit community, and if you know, you know, and if you don't, it sounds like you're speaking foreign tongue, you know, like, yeah, a guy dropped into the frontside gate twist stalefish revert, and you're like, you know, me and a skateboarder might know exactly what we're talking about, but anybody else is just like, these guys are crazy.
There's also a creativity. I mean, when you come up with a new move, or the first time you're going to try something, maybe talk about that.
And that's where the weird names come from, because you may try something and your board flies one way and you fly the other way, and you're like, hey, wait a minute, what if I did that and grabbed my board and put it back on my feet? You know, like, a lot of it's accidental. You're really only limited by your imagination. It's not going anywhere. It's here to stay for sure. There's more kids skateboarding now than playing baseball.
One thing, you've got a lot of credits to your name if you want to talk about X Game gold medals and you know, Gravity Games first place in 2000. You've done a lot of that stuff. But also something that I thought was interesting was you met with former President Clinton.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of stuff for the kids, say no to drugs, all that kind of stuff. That's important to you too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just important to me to set a good example, and I try to live my life by example. I'm not going to tell kids, you know, you should do this, you shouldn't do that, but it's more about trying to set a good example. Like, here's what I do. I've chosen to live a drug-free lifestyle, and maybe you'll make the same decision and realize that stuff's not going to help you if you want to become the best skateboarder you can be. I just feel like there's a certain responsibility that we have as pro athletes in an environment where, whether you like it or not, kids are looking up to you, and you have an influence. So I try to use some of that influence to, you know, for the better.